Hello. So if you were watching this, you have probably recently purchased Seint products. So I wanted to send you this step-by-step tutorial. So I recommend watching this either right before you apply your makeup or literally turn it on while you are applying your makeup. So right now the only thing I have on is I've used shadow contour actually to fill in my brows, and then I have a little bit of Bubba eyeshadow on my eyes, and then I'm using Thrive mascara. So this is my compact, so I am using a double decker right now. This is a double decker. All of our compacts have mirrors, so my compact's going to look different than yours just because these are either optional colors that I picked or they are custom to my skin tone. So I have nothing on my face. I'm going to show you just one layer of makeup, so we're not going to cake stuff on. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prime my face. So I'm using our Stay Spray and a Perfector sponge. You can get both of these things off of our site. Think of priming your face as like a base coat. So it is an optional step. But what I tell people is if you feel like your makeup is not going on the way it should, or it's not lasting as long, because Seint should be 12-hour wear. Your makeup should look the same when you leave the house than when you get back to the house. But it is an optional step. So if you feel like your makeup is not staying in place all day, I highly recommend adding a primer to your makeup. Okay, so we're just gonna let that sit for 2 seconds. You have purchased the 3D brush, so this is the only brush that we're going to use to apply our makeup and also to blend it. The only extra thing that I'm going to use is my setting powder, which I will talk to you about that at the end. So the first thing that we're going to start with is our contour. I'm using Astoria, and I am just getting a little bit of that on my brush. I highly recommend that your colors are creamy or they are not going to apply the way they should. So when you are applying contour, you want to find the top of your ear or literally the bottom of your cheekbone, and you just want to hug that cheekbone. Okay, and I just go back and forth kind of stippling that. I am using the bigger side of the brush. You use whatever side works best for you. I'm getting a little bit more on my brush, and I'm going to apply it on the top of my forehead, and I kind of bring it down to connect those two lines. Build the color up to whatever you are looking for. And then I'm going to get a little bit more on my brush and put it right underneath that jawline. All these colors have coverage in them, which is why you don't have to have multiple layers of makeup. So, doing the same thing to the other side. If you feel like you need an additional color to color correct, just let me know. I will ask for another selfie just to see what we are trying to color correct. So again, I'm going right underneath that cheekbone and going back and forth with my contour color to create those natural shadows. We're going to put a little bit on this side. So what you do to one side, you're going to do to the other. Okay, so I just built that up. I'm going to use the smaller side to do my lip. You can use your finger too. And don't worry, we will blend everything at the very end. You're just gonna follow that natural line, natural shadow that you already have there, or you can put your lines very close together to make your nose look smaller or thinner. If you want your nose to look wider, just take those lines and make them further apart. And then I just like to take my middle finger and go right down the middle in case I got any contour in the middle. And then a super easy way to blend it is really just take your fingers and kind of pat it out. You can use your brush as well. And I just go back and forth until it is blended out to my liking. So I'm gonna leave it like this until we get the rest of our colors on, and then I'll see if it's blended the way I want. Okay, so now that we have our contour on, I am going to my brush cleaning tile and just getting that contour color off of there. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my main highlight color. You have been color matched to 2 highlight colors. One is going to be closest to your actual skin tone. The other is going to be a couple shades lighter. So I'm getting some of that on my brush, and I'm literally just patting my brush into that color. I'm going right above my contour color. I'm not gonna put anything here right now. I'm gonna go right underneath that contour. Because I have some acne down here, I am going to concentrate that brush in those areas. So what you do to one side, you're going to do to the other. Again, we're not gonna put any makeup right there. And we're also going to leave this makeup-less for a second. So above the brows as well. Okay. So now we have our main highlight color on. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our lip and cheek color. So in my compact, I have Tropicana. That's what I'm going to use for this tutorial. I'm going to go back to the bigger side of the brush, get some of that on there. I'm going to smile and put that right over my contour. And this for me is the first step of blending that contour. Okay? So I'm just going back and forth. If you want your lip and cheek color brighter, just build it up. But always start in light and keep going. Okay? So still everything's not blended yet. Do the same thing to the other side. Take it right over that contour. And you just keep doing that until your contour is blended out the way you want it. Okay? Okay, so now that we have that there, we're gonna switch to the smaller side of this brush. I am going to just switch to my cleaning towel. I can't remember what I put on it, but I wanna make sure it's clean. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to that other highlight color that's a couple shades lighter than my foundation color. I'm going to put that underneath my eye. I'm gonna put a teeny bit on my chin. So you don't have to put your main highlight color there. You can just put your accent highlight, which is what I'm using my accent. I'm going to put a little bit between my brows. I'm gonna get a little bit on my finger and just go right between those contour lines on my nose. Going back to my cleaning towel, brushing it off. You can use your hand or a towel, but I have that in there, so I like to utilize it. Okay. So we have that blended. We're blending our under eye coverage. Blending that. And I lightly like to just blend in that accent highlight down the center of my nose. Okay? I have another mirror over here, so I'm just making sure it's all blended. Now, make sure that you blend the contour underneath your neck down. Okay, now we're gonna blend in this contour, which I just brush it down, or you can go into a circular motion to make sure there are no harsh lines there. Okay. Now let's do something to our lips. I am going to use nude on my lips. And then I'm just gonna go over it with our lip conditioner. Okay, so you could stop right there and go ahead and set your face. I'm gonna go just a couple steps further for people who want to see that. So I'm gonna stick with the 3D brush. I'm going to go in with Bella Bronzer. I'm gonna get some of that on my brush. and just put that on the outsides of my forehead. Now, keep in mind that bronzer is different than contour. Bronzer is going to give you that warm, summery glow, where contour is going to create shadows and dimension to your face. I'm going to put a little bit on the high parts of my cheeks. You can also dab your nose. And then I always like to take it down my neck. So just make sure it is blended. Make sure to blend it from your cheekbones. Okay. All right, so now that we have that there, we're gonna go one extra step and we are going to use Honey Illuminator. So I'm still sticking with the bigger side of the 3D brush, and I am putting that right over where I put that Bella bronzer. Illuminator is going to make you shine. You see that shine? Put a little bit on your nose, on your cupid's bow, and then if you wanted to, you can even put it on your brow bone. What I always say about Illuminator is just go over it and push it in so it looks natural when the sun hits you. Okay, so what I'm gonna show you now is one of the most important parts of this makeup. Setting it. So I am using airspun. This one works good for combination skin. If you have dry skin, I would recommend, let's see if I have it in my compact. I have it in one of these. I would recommend our vanilla setting powder. It works really, really well if you are trying to color correct or if you have dry skin. So that is what I would recommend for dry skin. This you can get from any drugstore for about $7. It's called Airspun. I use the translucent extra coverage, and I'm going to use our powder brush, and I'm going to use this side of the brush, get some of that on there, and I'm going to bake my makeup. So I'm putting it underneath my eyes. I'm going to put it underneath my contour. I do like to put a little bit right above my nose. I'm going to put it above my eyebrow. And then you would want to let that sit for like 3 to 5 minutes. So I'm not going to do that just for the purposes of this video, but I am going to just take my brush, act like it's been 3 to 5 minutes, and then brush that powder into the areas that you did not set. Which are usually going to be those contour areas. And you are set. If you need extra hold, what I used to prime my face, you can also use to set your makeup. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. I want to help you. But that's it. Have a good one.